Hi there, Stephen here. Figured I would put up an explanatory video. The most common reaction that I got at PAX Oz was, that looks really interesting, but what's going on? So this is DreadChase, and it's a exotic first-person shooter stealth combat game set in space. It's 6 degrees of freedom, which means that you can thrust around in all 6 directions, so you can strafe up and down in addition to left and right. It also means that the level geometry stretches away in all directions. You start off here in your base. I'm here inside of a teleport chamber, picking where I want my base to go. Your base is equipped with a warp drive, so we're warping away now. This entrance here, this doubles as a teleporter, so you can reach the intersections of your base through rooms like these. If you've ever seen, like, say, Doctor Who or something like that, you know how the TARDIS is bigger on the inside than on the outside. It's much like that. It means that there's a reduced surface area to defend. So here we are. I've just switched over to stealth mode, and there's a bar down the bottom of the screen that shows how visible your craft is, how easy you are to detect. Now, if you bump into surfaces like that, or if you continually use your thrusters, you become a lot more visible. So essentially, the best way to move around is gliding around. So here's our base now. The reason we couldn't see any stars just then until we came outside was our base is hidden away as well. So the hostile forces, they don't know where your base is, they don't know where you are. So right now, at the moment, they're unaware that we're here. I'm just gliding towards a military outpost here. Our radar's picked up on a hostile on the inside. Now you can either play as aggressively or as covertly as you choose. So here I'm hacking my way through the door. Being a hostile base, the doors here are locked. So right now I'm just working through the hacking, sort of hunting down keys, avoiding firewalls. I've got the game set on easy because it kind of sucks getting shot down while you're demonstrating something. So here we are. We've got ourselves a security token. So the hostiles still don't know that we're here. There's a hostile here just on guard duty, sort of floating around a bit. He doesn't know that we're here. We're just gliding in gently. Then we'll use the teleporter, and now we're inside their base. So I make use of navigational aids like the one you can see on the lower right on the cubes. They're telling me where things are. Now I just got spotted, so I better sort of rush around and sort of look for somewhere to hide. Whenever the hostile forces, it takes a little while for them to get a positive ID and figure out it's you. If they spot you, then they know that your base is in the area and they'll intensify their searches, but they didn't get long enough to see me just then. What happens is, when they lose track of you, they'll go to your last known position, then fan out in the search pattern. And how effective that is really comes down to several things, including like what kinds of ships they have available, how many there are. As you can imagine, a search pattern with a crappy little tank like that's a very basic enemy. It's got a very bad sensor suite, and it's pretty low powered weapons. It's not much of a threat. So I can look around here, and there's all sorts of different subsystems modelled inside of bases. So here I'm inside an engineering room. There's power systems, there's warp systems, there's weaponry, armories, that kind of thing. And most of those systems can be either compromised by hacking or you can extract things. Now let's just cut some time and fly our way through, because I mean really this is a fairly early on base on the easy difficulty, so I may as well just sort of blast my way through. So there's me just collecting some goodies. Absolutely everything is destructible, the entire environment. The reason I've done that is mainly because I get a little bit annoyed when games give me all sorts of explosive weapons, and then they tell me that no, you can't open such and such because you need a key card. Well, it's like, hang on, I have a rocket launcher, I don't really need a key card. So I've kind of erred on the side where absolutely everything is destructible, and that includes everything right down to projectiles. If you fire a missile and somebody's shooting at you, then you can blow your own face off, etc. This is me shooting some of the subsystems in the base. Now I've just shot the one that holds this thing together, so that's going to cause some strife. And when you do things like that, if you ever played anything like Descent, you have limited time to get out of the structure before it explodes. Well, this time around, I opted for an environment that, I like my explosions, guilty as charged. Essentially, you can kind of surf the blast wave on the way out, you just better be quite quick about it. So the blast wave actually propagates throughout the structure, and you can kind of ride the flames a bit, but you're tempting fate if you do. And naturally, anything you retrieve from a base while you're doing that is actually on board the ship. So if you get killed before you return to base, then you don't get some of the goodies that you retrieved. That there was a very easy base. That's me playing on the easy difficulty and fighting against the first thing that I encountered in a campaign. The campaigns get more difficult as they go along, and so that was very easy. If anything, I'm worried that I make the game too difficult, but we'll see. I'm tuning at the moment. Now here, I'll give an example of what happens when they discover your base. I've tried to make the systems as intuitive as possible, in essence. And what happened was just here to come under siege here, I've walked away while another base was in the area intact, and you've got to be careful when hostiles are exploding in your house, because if they explode next to certain things, then it can get pretty hairy. The hostile forces will progressively siege through your base, so they'll blast through the outer blast doors, and then sort of siege and destroy each area as they come along. So naturally, as you might expect, there's a lot of systems in your base that don't react too well to being shot, and so you can see we've got some friendly turrets around the place defending. Trans-warp sieges, so these ones here where I've actually been pursued into warp, they're not nearly as difficult to fight against as a normal full siege taking place in space, just because it's a limited number of units. However, the crucial part is, much like most of the game, you do have to watch the clock, because if you don't eliminate all of the hostiles in your base, it only takes one survivor to highlight, hey, the new base position is here, at which point you're in for interesting times when you arrive at your new destination. Wow, they've really blown the crap out of this room. And that's me getting shot, and there's quite a few friends in my base causing all sorts of strife here. And like I was mentioning, if you don't want to sort of overtax your base's repair systems, and you kind of want to be a little bit careful on your use of explosive weapons in your own base. And it's fine at a lot of other people's bases, but crap, I'm starting to get a little bit nervous about the time here, because like I was saying, if you don't deal with all the hostiles in your base before you arrive in a war, they will become aware of the new position, and I don't think I'm running out of time. Oh shit, there's a bomber right in front of me. Oh no, I'm going to run out of time. Things like that cause you all kinds of strife, because now my base, the position is known, and oh crap, yep, that looks like wonderful. I can hear some mines here. We're in a minefield, our base is known, and there's another hostile outpost nearby. All the hostile outposts and the threats that you face, they're procedurally generated, as well as the kinds of scenarios that you're facing. But this one here, here we have a minefield combined with a hostile base, and there's still a few survivors, and won't surprise me, yep, there's more hostiles arriving in the area. Once your position is known, you're in for a bit of strife. There's some fairly big units arriving, and yeah, that's gonna I'm gonna get shot down at the moment. But yeah, I figured some explanation was warranted, and yeah, I hope you enjoy.